Let's unpack the Gypsy Rose TikTok hacking saga, because the details just keep getting juicier. What if this whole hacking scandal isn't a random act of cybercrime, but a deliberate plan by Gypsy and her team to grab attention and rewrite her narrative? Trust me, the evidence suggests this might be more than meets the eye. Gypsy's main TikTok account being hacked was the headline, but the leaked messages between her and the alleged hacker are where the real tea is spilled. According to screenshots, the hacker demanded $400 via PayPal in exchange for returning her account. Gypsy's responses, however, sounded less like someone negotiating for their account and more like someone carefully crafting a public statement. She told the hacker, "Honestly, you can keep it. I was going to delete it in a few months anyway. If I can get it back, great. If not, whatever." Then she dropped this bombshell. "I'm an expecting mother who is 9 months pregnant. Everything I have is budgeted towards my child and bills. Contrary to popular belief, I'm not a millionaire. I'm sorry, but I won't give you the money." The hacker's response? A mix of disbelief and more demands for money. But let's pause here. Gypsy's replies weren't just about refusing to pay. They seemed aimed at addressing two of the biggest controversies surrounding her pregnancy and her alleged millionaire status. Gypsy's pregnancy has been a hot topic of speculation for months. Many people have doubted her claims, pointing to the lack of visible proof or consistent updates. Subtle hints didn't work, so it seems she used this hacking drama as a way to loudly and definitively assert that she's expecting. By framing herself as a 9 months pregnant woman under financial strain, Gypsy not only confirmed her pregnancy but also painted herself as a sympathetic figure. This is classic PR 101. Take control of the narrative in a way that leaves little room for doubt. By tying her pregnancy to a moment of vulnerability, she's pushing people to believe her, especially since the message feels raw and personal. The line, "Contrary to popular belief, I'm not a millionaire," is another calculated move. Gypsy has faced relentless criticism for allegedly profiting off her mother's murder. Reports have estimated her net worth at $3 million, and people have accused her of cashing in on the tragedy. This perception has led to boycotts of her book, public outcry, and even reports to her parole officer. Claiming that she couldn't afford $400 to recover her hacked account feels like a strategic attempt to shift public perception. It's almost like she's saying, "Look, I'm not the person you think I am. I'm just trying to make ends meet and focus on my baby." Whether or not it's true, it's a move designed to elicit empathy and change the narrative around her finances. Let's not ignore the emotional layer of this saga. Since her release, Gypsy has experienced a roller coaster of public opinion. While she initially received overwhelming support, the tide quickly turned. Critics have accused her of playing the victim and exploiting her story for fame and fortune. This hacking drama, however, has managed to pull some people back into her corner. The idea of a pregnant woman being targeted by a hacker is enough to make anyone feel bad for her. It's a story that tugs at the heartstrings and distracts from her past controversies. By positioning herself as the victim of cyberbullying, Gypsy has managed to garner sympathy and potentially win back some of her audience. This all comes at a suspiciously perfect time. Gypsy's been working on a Lifetime show that delves into her life post-prison, including her struggles with cyberbullying and public backlash. The hacking scandal aligns perfectly with the themes of the show, almost as if it's designed to drum up buzz and reinforce the narrative that Gypsy is a victim trying to move forward. The timing is too perfect to ignore. Whether intentional or not, this hacking incident has effectively put Gypsy back in the spotlight just as her show is gaining traction. It's a classic publicity play. Create controversy, generate attention, and use it to boost a larger project. The entire saga, from the alleged hacking to the leaked messages and the public reactions, feels like a masterclass in narrative control. Gypsy has managed to address two major controversies: her pregnancy and millionaire status, and elicit sympathy and generate buzz for her show, all in one foul swoop. Gypsy has been claiming to be the target of cyberbullying for a while now, and she's gone to great lengths to make sure we all know about it. She's been posting about it constantly and making sure her followers know exactly how badly she's been treated online. What's interesting here is that Gypsy is documenting everything in great detail, even talking about how she's going to capture this entire ordeal in 4K to make sure no one doubts her claims. She's also taken it a step further by organizing interviews and even posting protest videos to create a narrative of her suffering. The people she's interviewing are mostly those who are already against her, but that's actually part of the plan. By using their content, she can paint a picture of how deeply she's being cyberbullied. She's trying to make people believe that her online torment is real, and these interviews help build that story. But that's not all. She's also asking creators who are less than fond of her to share content related to her, likely to add weight to the claim of her being bullied. It's almost like a strategy to build her case and get people on her side. What's even more suspicious is how she's spinning the story to include the alleged hacking of her TikTok account. You can't help but wonder if this whole hacking incident was planned to further her narrative of being a victim. Gypsy has always loved the title of victim, and let's be honest, it's been her go-to story for years. First, she claimed to be the victim of her mother's alleged Munchausen by proxy abuse. Then she said she was sexually abused by her ex-boyfriend Nicholas Gojon. After that, she made accusations against her grandfather and father, claiming similar abuse. Not to mention, she's repeatedly talked about being a victim in her marriage with Ryan Anderson, citing domestic violence. And now, with this hacking incident, it seems like she's trying to add another layer to her victim persona, this time as the victim of a hacker. It wouldn't be surprising if this whole hacking situation was intentionally staged to give her one more victim title. It seems like she'll take any opportunity to add another chapter to her ongoing saga of suffering. But here's where things get even more interesting. The timing of all of this. It almost feels like this PR stunt was executed with the sole purpose of reigniting interest in her. Why? Because Gypsy has a book out right now, and she's also got a Lifetime show in the works. To promote these projects, she needs people to pay attention to her, and what better way than to throw in another dramatic incident? The hacking has gotten tons of attention, and it's worked wonders in getting people talking about her again. It's clear that this is all about keeping her name in the headlines and drawing more eyes to her upcoming projects. News outlets like TMZ have already picked up on the hacking story, and that's just the kind of publicity she needs. It's a textbook PR stunt, and it's getting the desired results. People are intrigued, and some might even start feeling sympathy for her, thinking that she's been wronged once again. It's all part of her plan to keep herself in the public eye and keep the narrative around her controlled.
No matter what Gypsy Rose calls herself, an author, an influencer, an advocate, doesn't matter. No matter what people believe about her, victim. A fact about Gypsy Rose is that she is a convicted felon. She is, in fact, a convicted murderer. She did spend time in prison for this offense. So regardless of what she wants to call herself or what people want to think about her, that is a fact. So there's that.
So what's the real takeaway here? It seems pretty obvious that Gypsy Rose is playing a long game here. She's using the hacking incident to build up her victim persona even more, all while getting more eyes on her book and Lifetime show. Whether or not you buy into it, it's hard to deny that it's working. The attention is back on her, and she's got the world talking again. As always, we'll have to wait and see how the next chapter in this saga unfolds. But one thing's for sure, Gypsy Rose knows how to stay in the spotlight.